video today. I am going to be showing you my GameCube Game Collection. So these are games that I've acquired over several years. It's nothing fancy, just some games I remember having from my childhood. So, the GameCube is pretty much the only game console that I have from my childhood. We're going to look through my games and I'll show you what I've got. So the first one is The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. And there used to be a GameStop in my town, but unfortunately it went out of business, I guess, and that is where I got all of these games from. As you can see, it was $39.99. I don't know if you could see that or not. And this one was just a really great game. It is really up there high on my favorite list, like with Ocarina of Time. The graphics in this one were really good. I didn't like the ones in Wind Waker. They were too cartoony for me, but and just the gameplay itself, all of the really cool finishing moves that you get to learn throughout the game were just really cool and fun to do. So I recently just started another game, and my kids have been enjoying watching me play that. They always say, "Mommy, can you play the Link game?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." I'm just kidding. Not all the time, but sometimes. So, just looking through the mail here. I think my least favorite part about this game was it was either the dungeon that was in the sky or the Snow Peak place. I can't remember, and I haven't gotten there yet in my new game that I just started not long ago. One of those I remember just really got on my nerves, I think. And there's always one dungeon in a Zelda game that does that, right? But yeah, so that is this one. Here's what the back looks like. Okay. And another game that I remember very fondly is Animal Crossing. I played a lot of this game growing up, and I remember the music in this game was so relaxing and just so comforting. Here's the back. You can kind of see the older graphics, the way they looked. I thought it was one of the best games ever. Let's see. I don't have a manual for this one. Let's see, what do I have in here? This is a pamphlet for a Nintendo Power subscription. So, Nintendo Power was these magazines that would highlight all the new games coming out and tips and tricks for current games. Just some really cool stuff in there. I don't think I ever got any of those, but that's cool to see. Oh, and I forgot I was going to give these a wipe down, just because I haven't pulled them out in a bit. And I forgot to show you that this game was $19.99 and it was brand new when we got it. I remember one of the towns that we had started, usually it was my whole family that played, like my mom, my sister, my brother, I think. But the town that my mom made was called the town of Pleasant. I thought that was very fitting. So the next game I have is The Sims 2. This is the pets. So this was the game that you could have pets in. The front is a little bit grimy just because I believe it had a sticker on there and I was never able to get that off. So now it's just stuck there and will not move. So I do remember playing, I don't think I played it as much as other games that I had, but I do remember having a lot of fun with this one. So The Sims 2 Pets was just like the regular Sims, I guess, except you had pets that you could take care of and that sort of thing. And it was like a, what's the word I'm trying to think of? So if you've played The Sims on a computer, you have to click to move your Sim around if you want them to go anywhere. But with this one, it was like a free roaming. You just moved with the joystick, and I thought that was pretty neat. I think that was the first Sims game that I have played that was like that. So that was new for me and exciting. So, oh yes, you could also play as your Sims. I'm sorry, you could play as your pets, and your pet had motives just like your Sim did. So they had like hygiene, social, comfort, energy, hunger, and fun. So not only did you have to take care of your Sim, but you had to take care of your pet as well, and make sure that all of their needs were getting met. So and here's what the game looks like. It's a pretty blue color. And the sticker that had the price on it is like worn off. So I'm not sure how much this was originally. Just give it a little wipe down here. So here is another one that I didn't play too much, but I do remember a couple times playing it with my brother and my cousin, I think. This game is a role-playing game, so, and you can play with up to 4 characters. Up to 4 people, sorry. And you just go through like these dungeons, and depending on the class that you chose, you would just do whatever it is that one did. So you could be like a mage who casts spells, or like a warrior. I'm not sure all the different ones, but it's very fun if you had all 4 people playing at the same time. It's called Gauntlet Dark Legacy, and And this one was $19.99 used condition. Take a look at the manual here. Know that the graphics were pretty cartoony, but it was fine because it was just for fun. I think at the end of each world, you had a boss to fight. So there were a lot of different worlds, looks like. You had quest items. Let's see. Here it is. So you had a wizard and sorceress, Valkyrie and knight, archer and a jester, warrior and a dwarf is what you could choose from. I guess the races in the class. So, yeah, you would just go through all these dungeons and try your best to make it to the boss. And sometimes, you would die and you'd have to start over. But it was just fun having to work together as a team. So let's put this back. And I'll give this one a wipe down as well. Okay. So this next one was one of my absolute all-time favorites, and it's Resident Evil 4. This game had a lot of praise on it. On the back it says Game of the Year, GameCube Game of the Year. So it got a lot of 5 stars. This was the first Resident Evil game I had ever played. And it didn't really matter that I hadn't played the other ones, and it was still really good. You didn't, it's not like jumping into a book that's like the second or third in the series. You don't really know what's going on. But yeah. And this one, I think, looks like I wrote over it. I believe it was 19. Brand new. So, it says U.S. Agent Leon Kennedy has been tasked to look into the abduction of the president's daughter, and his investigation has led him to a mysterious location in Europe. As Leon encounters unimaginable horrors. He must find out what is behind the terror. Yes, I do remember in this game there are a lot of really sketchy moments. I know I died a lot when I first played it. And my manual is all messed up because I actually made a poster or something, I think, of all the characters that was in the game. So I cut out a lot of things and hung it up in my room. So yeah, my manual is pretty messed up. I know a lot of people say that this Resident Evil game is their favorite one, and I think I would have to agree. I did play, well, I didn't play, I watched somebody else play the new one, Resident Evil Requiem, and that one was exceptional, I think, but I just don't think that you could get any better than this one, just because it was just such a good game, and just when it was made, it's very nostalgic and all that. I have not played the remake of this one, but that might be on my list next to watch someone play through the remake of Resident Evil 4. But stick this back in. Alright, moving on to Mario Party 6. Now, this is probably the game that I have played the most of, just because we always played this as a family, and we all had our specific characters that we were every single time. My brother was Waluigi, I was Yoshi, my mom was Boo, and I think my other brother he was either Mario or Luigi, I think. But me and my sister always fought over Yoshi because she liked being Yoshi too. So lots and lots of time spent playing this game. And the first Mario Party that we played was actually the fourth one. mini games in it. One of our favorites was Pushy Penguins. So that is that. And here is Mario Party 5. This one was pretty good as well. I think a lot of, or like all of the Mario games have some really hit or miss mini games. Some of them are like, why is this a mini game? And then other ones are like really fun. But what matters is that you're just having fun with your family. I think that's all that matters. Okay, so next I have Harvest Moon. This was a game that I remember playing when I was younger, and it was really fun. So you like have a farm and you live in this little town, and you can get to know the villagers, and I think you can get married, you can have a pet, along with all of the other farm animals. And I actually haven't played this in a really long time, probably since I was younger. So I don't really remember like how the game ended, I guess. It says you can find, choose, and charm potential brides for marriage. The friends you keep influence your child's career and future. Oh, I forgot, you can have a child. Care for cows, chickens, sheep, and more. Cultivate your own seed varieties into the best produce. Weather realistic environmental effects through multiple years. So yeah, lots of stuff that can happen. This one did not have a price tag on it, so I don't know how much I spent on that one. So last but not least, I have the Urbz Sims in the City. This game is like kind of like a Sims game, but different, because you do have needs and motives to fill, but you are not set in like a house setting, so you don't like own a home or anything like that. But what you do is you go through different areas in the city, and you try to fit in with the residents of that particular part of town. So it was really interesting and neat a lot. I think I played this more than the actual Sims game that I had. It was really cool. It had lots of the Black Eyed Peas music in it, and you can actually play with another person in this game. So it was like a split screen situation. I do remember playing this with my mom a lot. See, this is what the cover looks like. So this was one particular area that you went to. There was like a biker area, I think. So in every new area that you go to, you have to change your clothes and make sure that you dress to fit in with what else everyone is wearing. So I remember we would always rush to get changed when we went to a new area, my mom and I, because you can only do one at a time, and so whoever didn't get there first had to wait for the other one. But it's just something I remember from this. And this game was used, and it was $5.99. So $6, I don't think it's a pretty bad deal there. Okay, so that is all of my GameCube games, friend. I hope that you enjoyed seeing those, and maybe they brought back some memories for you as well. So I will just get these put up and back on my shelf, and I will see you in the